Yo, how's it going? Ren here. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different from my usual videos and streams that I post. In this video, I'm gonna be going over time management. This will pretty much carry over into any other deep dungeon, but for this video in particular that I'm gonna be reviewing and explaining is gonna be my floor 161 to 170 on Gunbreaker in the Palace of the Dead. It might be a long video. I don't have anything planned out for this. And there's going to be a lot of pauses. So sit back, and if you learn anything, let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you like the video. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. So right off the bat, the first thing that I'm going to notice here is that I do have basically a full set of palms. I'm basically only missing my witching, my fortune, and intuition. So I have the main palms that do help with saving time, which is mostly going to be your strengths, your flights. It can be your alteration depending on what you get. Your rages. For support, it's going to be lust. Lust with witching is really good with support, so that this combination is a really good time saver. All right, so again, right when this video starts, I'm going to go ahead and I'm turning my camera to get a view of what's going on over here. One of the main important things that you want to do on support classes when you're starting and then getting into the high floors is you always want to start planning ahead. So I pulled this croc here and I have my camera face so that I'm doing two things. One is I'm already looking at the next target, so I can see that there's two lindworms here. I know those are pretty easy targets and they're not annoying like the Tursus are. So I already can have in my head, okay, after this pull, I'm going to pull a lindworm. I'm also looking ahead to see if there's any patrols coming other than this Tursus, which there isn't. But the other main thing that I'm looking for is to see if there's any chests to look out for. And as of right now, I can kind of see this chest over here, but I don't know what it is yet. So I'm probably just going to continue on with this fight as I try to decide what I'm going to do next. There is a gold chest there, so I am peeking that. That'll probably be the next thing that I go for. And again, I'm keeping my camera faced over in here, just in case there just happens to be a patrol that comes this way. I can keep it in mind that, oh, that might be my next thing to avoid. But I also see the key here, so I know where the key is at. So that tells me that once this mob is dead, then I can start definitely work on one of the lindworms, check to see what kind of chest this is, and then probably venture out a little bit more to explore to see what my next target is going to be after the lindworm. But we're definitely going to check this gold, either while I kill the croc or after I kill it. Okay, so I had paused my camera here for a second in the gameplay because I can see that there is an alligator over here. And I can see that this area over here is open. It's not closed off. So I know there's at least two other rooms that I will need to explore. And I'm doing all of that while fighting this mob. Looking ahead and planning out while you're fighting something in the middle of the pool is going to be one of the biggest things that you can do to save time. Okay, so I'm doing a little scouting here. I see the gold. Probably going to check that and then pull something immediately. Okay, got a witching. Alright. And then we go ahead and we pull the lindworm, who actually aggroed us, but we were going to pull something anyways. And then what I'm doing here is, instead of fighting him right away, I'm going to drag him with me to check this chest. Doing this, I'm getting two things done. I'm doing damage to him by spamming my range attack, and I'm also exploring and checking chests at the same time. Instead of fighting him in one spot, I'm doing two things at once, which is a huge time save in the grand scheme of things. So something to keep in mind. The strength is huge. I'm sitting at 3 strength, and I just found a new one. I'm on the first floor, so my immediate thought is I need to use the strength so I can go ahead and get ahead on this floor since I only have 1 kill. Now, right here, what I'm doing is I'm deciding what I want to do with that strength. I know as a support that Lust and Witching is a very strong combination, and just a moment ago, I got my 3rd Witching. So something that a lot of players will do on the 161 set that are playing support is they'll gather up a bunch of the easy mobs like the lindworms and the alligators. Those are pretty easy mobs. And then they'll do a Witching and Lust combination. The mobs do hit kind of hard even for a support class, so steel is preferred. So in this case, I'm going to strengthen steel and then gather up some mobs. Lindworm, if you can get all lindworms, that would definitely be preferred because they like to spam their conal a whole bunch, and the more that they're spamming that conal, you can get a lot more damage in, even if they're not witched. Yep, so we're just going to go gather the mobs. And another thing I'm going to do here is I want to check the chest while I'm gathering them. So if I do get a mimic, I can witch the mimic and get it all in the lust at the same time. I pulled the Tursus patrol, unfortunately. Tursus is the one that you don't want to pull on this floor set because it puts a slow on you. And for any job that can't Asuna it, it's a big time loss because that slow is it's pretty bad. You attack way less, which is way less damage than you should be doing. I'm gonna check this chest. Of course, it's a mimic, so I'm gonna go ahead and steal up because I know I'm gonna do the witching soon. Now, I do this lust witching play not too great. I already have the slow on me. I already used my hyper potion to heal up, so it works out. But this could have been handled way cleaner. We're gonna go into lust, hit our no mercy, and we're just gonna lust everything down for what we can. Yeah, the bad part about this is that I was pretty low HP, so there's a lot of imps in this pack, and the imps do the most damage in a witching, so I do have to leave early, but I do get them down pretty low enough to where I can just AoE most of them down. So I did open the key there. Just a few mobs left alive. The Mimic got his pox off. I wasn't there in time to cleanse it, but that's okay. We're a tank. We don't use many purities anyways. Okay, we'll kill him here. Alright, so now that he's dead, we're heading to the exit. So the time is 56:55, so about 3 minutes to clear the first floor. I have strength and steel up, and then what I'm gonna do to decide here, and this is something that I do in a lot of my runs, is the first floor. I like to pop my flight, preferably with buffs like strength and steel here. The reason is because when you use a flight, you reduce the amount of enemies that you need to kill on the next floor. And if you have buffs running, there's a very high potential that you can carry the strength and the steel buffs into the third floor. And to me, that is the best case scenario. If I can carry a strength and steel from floor 1, 2, and have a little bit extra in 3, even if it's only to kill one extra mob on the third floor, I think that is huge when it comes to time save. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. So I'm walking into 162 with about 7 minutes of strength and steel. Okay, so I see these two alligators over here. I'm heading over there. And I do a quick churn so that I just want to check to see if any other patrol was coming. I did see the Lindworm over there, and I don't see the key over here right now. But I already committed to running over here, and I don't know if there's a chest behind these alligators. They're kind of big. So anytime I see a dead end and a bunch of big mobs, like I kind of go, I want to check to make sure if there's anything over there that I might miss. So, and I do see the text of the treasure coffer from over here, so that tells me that that is what I want to check. I don't know what it is yet, if it's gold, silver, or bronze, but as I do get closer, I do see that it is a gold. And since I'm already over here, I might as well pull something to go ahead and get the kills started. And going on that, what I just said about getting the kill started, so one good thing to know is that every floor that you do, or every set, there is a minimum kill, a minimum kill that is possible to get. So what you want to do is when you're on the floors, you don't want to go around and checking every single chest first before you kill stuff. You want to get ahead on your kill count. That could possibly be anywhere from 4 to, I think it's 4 to 10 on this set, 161 to 170. So I know I need at least 4 kills minimum. It's probably like 6 or 5. Now this is a flighted floor, so it could be a 4 kill flight, or I'm sorry, a 5 kill flight. But I'm gonna aim for. I'm thinking in my head probably when I do a flight. Okay, I'm gonna need at least 3 kills, but I should prepare for 5 kills. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. All right, we got a mimic, which is a little unfortunate, but the thing about pulling a mimic this early is that I know this mimic is going to contribute to the kill count. So I know this floor is flighted. I know I still need kills, so this pull isn't that bad, especially in a tank, because I can just tank it. And this mob here, that he's already almost dead. And even if this was a melee, this wouldn't be a bad pull. So that's one thing to always think about, is that if you pull a mimic before the key is open, that's good because it counts towards the key. It's when you pull mimics after the key is open is when it's just a clear waste of time. So that's what we want to try to avoid, is not opening chests after the key is open to potentially avoid mimics. Okay, and then I think I just start bringing him out a little bit more just to get him closer to where I want to go, which is to explore where that Lindworm was. And to look out for any possible patrols. So you can see here, I keep my camera moved in a way so that I can see this like little walkway here. Instead of facing him, my camera back where the other alligator is, I can see if any potential patrols come through over here. And basically what that does let me know is if there is a patrol, I know that it's going to be a Tursus, which is the one we want to avoid. So if I see just him, see one peeking out just a little bit, then I know I want to come over here in this area. This is the spawn room, so I know I have this whole area free. And so this is what I'm preparing for, is if I happen to see a patrol. Just gonna skip ahead a little bit. Okay. All right, so now we're continuing. I see there's the one Lindworm here. I see the key. So knowing where the key is at early is good because you know where you need to be at the end. One of the hardest things to do is when you come to a section like this that has a pathway over here and a pathway over here, and you don't know where the key is at. So you always have to take a kind of a gamble to peek in one direction to see, okay, where is the key? But what happens if this is a treasure room with all proximity mobs and you don't see the key yet? You don't want to get too close to the middle because you might aggro something. And you can only turn your camera so much to see a room. So then that's when it becomes, okay, what what do I need to do to be able to find out where I need to go? Because if you take the wrong gamble, like let's say this key is over here on the left, and I gamble, oh, I want to go over here to the right, that could be a big waste of time. So in that case, that's something where instead of risking the gamble, you would use something like a site to just give you the information that you need so that you don't waste time going in the wrong direction. Right, but we're going to check over here, spin my camera. So I see a silvers here, and I immediately turn away because I know that I already have 2 kills. I have the alligator and the mimic. I know this is flighted, so I need at least 2, 3 more kills. So what I'm doing is I'm spinning my camera, and I see a chest over here. I see that it's gold, so my thinking is I'm going to go over here and check this chest, because if it's a mimic, that can potentially open the key for me instead of me killing something and then checking the chest and it being a mimic like I was discussing earlier. So I'm going to check this chest. I got my flight back, which is good, because so that tells me that my decision to flight this floor was a good decision, because I have more strength and steel on this floor. I came in here with about 6 or 5 minutes. If I didn't flight this floor, there's a big chance that I could have lost most of my strength and steel on here, and then I would have gotten this flight, which would have been an overcap, and then the next floor there would have been a chance that I would have had either little to no buffs left on my strength and steel for the flight to really make a big impact using the flight. So I'm glad that I made that decision to use the flight on 161 to where I can get the full effect of these buffs and be able to carry it over into the 163. So I do something here. I don't really like this position I'm in right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him over here, and you'll see my camera move. My camera moves in a particular way. So I'm facing like the floor right now because I'm mostly paying attention to him. But then what I'm going to do with my camera is, like I did in the beginning, see how I move it up slightly like that? That's because I'm just getting in the habit. Here, this is the habit that I have where I want to be able to view what is going on in the floor. Now, I know now that there is no other patrols, but this is a good habit that you want to have to be able to look ahead and keep an eye on everything of what's going on the floors. Because let's say this is a normal floor, I want to be able to know, like, while I'm fighting this mob in this particular layout, which is a dead end, I would want to know if there's any patrols that are coming near me. And keeping my camera facing like this lets me be able to see that immediately so that I can make the plans that I need to. So you see this aggro or this monster over here. So let's just pretend that if that was a patrol and I'm fighting this, then that means that either I need to bring this mob somewhere right here, because if the patrol just if he turns just a little bit facing my direction, I know who's coming to me, and if I stay here, I'm going to be trapped. So that means I would want to move the mob that I'm fighting around this area. But if the patrol went over there, then I could probably keep this mob here and then just finish him off. But yeah, I have my camera like this, just being in the habit of looking to see what's happening on the floor. Okay, so we need one more kill. This is probably going to be the last one. Now, another thing that I want to keep in mind is I am checking out my POBs now. I have 3 flights, pretty much everything that I need. So we're going to go ahead and probably just go into the next floor just with nothing but the rest of the buffs I have, and just kind of react to whatever the next floor gives us. This set in particular is usually pretty good with not giving you a ton of debuffs, which is nice. And so the key opened, and let's see. I don't think I use anything here. No, I don't. So this is what I was talking about before, about the best case scenario that I was looking for, is that I'm going into 163 with about 4 minutes of my strength and steel that I popped in the middle of that 161 set, and we're only about 6.5 minutes in. So this is huge. This is a massive time save that we're going into the 3rd floor with 53 minutes left, and we have about 4 minutes of strength and steel. This is a very good early time save. And I do this all the time with a lot of jobs, even non-support jobs. I like to do a strength steal and a flight to get that early time save. Alteration, I'm going to go ahead and use that because I'm on a tank, because why not? And then we're going to want to pull the first thing that we see, because we want to make use of this full strength and steal that we have. We're going to go and pull this alligator. And then what I'm doing right here, again, I'm turning my camera. I'm looking to see what is around me. I'm going to go rewind that. So I turn my camera over here. I see the return. I see a bunch of mobs over there that are fightable. Quickly turn over here. And the next thing that I see, you can't see it right in here, right? Because my palm window's in the way. But I do see this wyver. And the first thing that wyver tells me is proximity and that he's in the middle of the room. And then the next thing I see, now that I move up some, is I see the gold chest. So that already piques my interest, is that, okay, I'm going to check that gold chest, but this wyver is over here. So this wyver is my next target, pretty much no matter what, unless I get interrupted by a patrol. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm just bringing him over there. I'm thinking about using this treasure coffer to blow him up, potentially, but I think the better move would be to try it on the wyver, and that is what I do try to achieve. Don't see any patrols coming, which is good. Immediately going to pull the wyver because I have strength and steel up. No hesitation there. There's one thing that you really want to get used to on not just support jobs, but pretty much every job. I would recommend, just if you have an enemy available that you know you can fight and you have strength and steel, just pull the mob. No waiting. Just pull the mob. Like, unless there is something that could potentially interrupt your fight, like a patrol, then just pull the mob. So we got an affluence. That's good. We're going to go ahead and use that and get a potential more chests. And again, so another thing that I did is I brought him over to the chest, like I did the Lindworm on 161. Use my range attack. I'm getting his HP down slowly. I'm exploring. Yeah, so his HP was 25% there, and I started my range attack around 30%, so just moving him from point A to point B, not only did I grab the chest and use a palm, but I brought him down by 5%. And that's better than just keeping him there in one spot, waiting for him to die, and then checking the chest. There's that patrol I was worried about. It's okay, though. We're going to skip him, and then the next thing we're going to do, I'm looking ahead. I see the key. It's over here. Oh, go up a little bit. So I see the key. I see the wyver. The same thing that I was thinking before. Okay, there's something that I want, which is access to the key. And there's a wyver here, which is proximity. So he has to die. And I have 1 minute left of strength, or about 2 minutes left of strength and steel. So that's perfect. All right, so I decided to kill the alligator. So the reason I'm deciding to kill the alligator here is because I know I can kill him within the 2 minutes of strength and steel that I have, and still have time for the wyver. But the wyver is next on my list that I want. All right, so he's almost dead. And we're heading straight over to the wyver. We're going to pull him instantly. Pulled him with about 35 seconds left of strength and steel. See, what I'm doing here is I'm keeping my camera facing behind me because I want to know when that patrol is coming and where he is going. It looks like he's coming straight back into my direction. I know he's going to come all the way across that room. So I believe what my next plan is going to be is to fight this Lindworm. Instead of running all of it to the croc, I'll just turn around and fight the Lindworm. Okay, same thing. I'm going to turn my camera. I want eyes on that Tursus patrol. And I'm going to position this Lindworm in a way to where the patrol won't interfere or aggro us. So that if I do open the key here, I'm not busy fighting another mob. That's what I want to avoid the most, is avoid fighting anything if I can help it after the key is open. Gonna move back some just to ensure that I'm safe from his aggro range. There we go. The key's open. Before I go into the key, though, I just want to make sure I'm not in his sight line, so I'm waiting over here. Next floor is Altered and Affluence. So let's see what happens. Okay. So first thing here, I see chest here beside me, a chest ahead of me, and 2 wyvers in a room. So the first thing I'm already thinking right here is that, okay, I want to know if there's anything in that room ahead of me, and I know there's wyvers here. So these wyvers potentially have to die ASAP. Okay, turn my other camera around this way. I see patrol coming. Patrols kind of take precedence over everything else. You don't want a patrol sneaking up on you when you're exploring. So right now here, what I'm doing, I'm sitting here and I'm scouting. I'm trying to see what kind of chest that is over there. And I see 2 things. Now let me go back. The 2 things that I saw is that this is the mimic room. But more importantly, the reason I'm not going to go over there is because 1, this is only a silver, and 2, I can see the cairn of return. So there is no key over here. So basically, I don't have a really big reason to go that way. So we're just going to ignore that, turn around, and we're just going to fight the patrol instead. Okay, so I did see the key there, so I do know where the key is at now and what I have to work towards. I'm looking at 2 things when I face my camera that way. Go back this way. I see the wyver over there, so I know the wyver has to die eventually, because there's pretty much no way that I'm going to get to that key without killing the wyver. So this patrol, the patrol approaching me, and the wyver are definitely going to be my next targets. And this is the kind of things that you want to think about when you're on the floors. You want to think about, okay, I see the key. What do I need to do to make sure that accessing it quick as possible will let me do? Okay, so these 2 patrols are going their own way. I still need to work on that minimum kill that I was talking about, so I'm pulling him ASAP. So now I have much easier access to this key. I see that silver right there, and then I see another chest in that dead end room with the wyver. So I want to check to see what kind of chest that is. Yeah, I can't tell from here yet if it's bronze or gold, but I'm looking in that direction. I'm trying to figure out what kind of chest it is. And when I get closer, I see that's a bronze. And I do like my potsherd, so I do commit to going over there to getting that chest. I think about doing the treasure coffer here, opening it to see if maybe I can get a cheeky explosion. My HP was kind of low at first, so right now I'm just trying to get my HP back to see if I can potentially blow this croc up with the chest. But he keeps beating me down. My HP is getting kind of low, so a little sketchy at first, but I do attempt it still. This is fine though, because that wyver, he's still kind of close to the chest. But by the time I kill this croc, the wyver does move a little bit for me to sneak the chest and check to see what it is. And again, so what I have right here is I am specifically facing this spot because I know there is another patrol around there, and I just want to keep eyes on which direction he's going to come from and if he's going to come towards me, because if he comes towards me, that does create a situation where I do need to either prepare to pull him, or if I'm going to be fighting another mob, I need to be ready to move myself and the other mob. Okay, check this chest. Alright, didn't get anything. I see the patrol going, and I see that he's moving straight, so I know I have time to pull this mob without being interrupted. That's exactly what I do. I'm working on that minimum kill that I was talking about. And we're just going to go ahead and kill this mob. I'm going to skip ahead some. Alright, key's not open yet, so we're just going to go ahead and continue to search for kills. I know I have that easy patrol waiting for me. I hit an altar here because it's at 3. I might as well. I'm just going to skip through here. We have another patrol coming, so I'm keeping an eye on him. Looking to see where he's going. Okay, and he turned, so I know I have this kill in the bag. Go ahead and skip ahead. Got 2 chests over here. I'm going to check the gold first, just in case it's a mimic. Right, and it was an affluence, so we'll get another affluence altar going. Gonna bring this Lindworm around while I check chests. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bring the Lindworm to a better spot to fight it so I can keep tabs on that patrol. Yeah, so this is a much better spot. So I'm using my camera to see where that patrol went. He's out of my view now, but I know he went that way, so just keeping my camera this way so I can see when he is coming, because if this key opens, I can try to race over to where the key is at before the patrol comes back. Right, so key's not open yet, so we're gonna go and pull the next mob. I'm gonna skip ahead some. So if the key doesn't open here, I do have the Wyver right beside me, and that would probably be my next target. Skipping ahead here. Alright, and the key is open. We already got an affluence and an altar going, so we're just going to go ahead and continue. Going into floor 165 at 43 minutes. That is really, really good pace. And we got that pace because we did the early Lust and Witch combo, and then we did the Flight combo with the strengths going on. So we got really good pace. So let's go over this floor. So right away, we have no abilities, which is one of the worst ability or enchantments you can get on a tank. A lot of damage comes from your OGCDs that the tanks have. Their ability to use mitigation, abilities like my Aurora I can't use, my interject I can't use on mimic. So yeah, no abilities is just bad. So usually on a no ability floor on a tank, you kind of have 2 options that I at least think of. The first option is fight the floor if I have a really good pace. In this case, I have an amazing pace right now, so I am okay with fighting this floor. But just in case, you may want to use something if the floor is really bad. Like if I see the key right here in front of me. Let's say there was a treasure room in front of me. With the pace that I have now, probably what I would do is if there's a treasure room in front of me, is I would immediately strength and then start pulling. Now, if this was something like a gloom and no ability, then that's where more palms might be considered. If it's like a gloom no ability and a treasure room in front of me, but I know the key is there, then it might be a strength into a flight for the next floor. It might be a fortune and rage, maybe. Preferably not a fortune and rage. But sometimes the game does give you these nasty treasure rooms that you have to get past or get through to get to the key. So again, in that case, like using something like a rage with a fortune to try to get some palms back could be good. But yeah, there's times where if you get in those situations where you kind of have to make the big decision. Okay, what kind of palms do I want to use here? Because if I fight this with nothing, it's going to eat up way too much time, and it's basically going to make all the huge time save that you had pretty much is just going to invalidate it, and you're basically back to just regular pace. So let's see what happens here. Check this chest, and we got a strength. So that's amazing because I was already considering using a palm here to help with the nobility and the strength. This just motivates me even more to go ahead and fight this floor. But the one thing I want to do first before I make any other big decisions is I want to know what is the altar room? Is it Korrigans or is it Mimics? If it's Korrigans, then I'm 100% fighting this. If it's Mimics, With what this floor has, the layout, I know the key is, I'd probably fight it. Maybe. But there's other easy mobs other than mimics. And since I don't have abilities, I actually probably wouldn't even fight the mimics, actually. Since it's no abilities, and I would get pox, so yeah. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back some because I do remember early when I was looking at this VOD, I swing my camera around, and if you look right here, right under my map, I do see a Corrigan here. So that tells me I have Corrigans, I have a free strength, I am 100% fighting this floor. Because the Corrigans, this floor is not flighted, so I know I'm going to need at least 5 to 6 kills. And the Corrigan, I don't know how many are over there, but I know it's going to give me a major time save if it's 3 of them at least. So I made the decision to go ahead and just fight this floor since we have Corrigans. And we have 3. So that's 3 pretty much instant kills that I have, which basically means I probably just have to kill this Wyver, those 3 Corrigans, and maybe something else. Check this chest. Which is another strength, which is good. So that means I can leave here with a fresh strength. I did safety earlier because I knew I was going to kill these Corrigans, and I wanted to, if they did have chests, I would have no traps to deal with. Counter Serenity, so that pretty much deals with the problem of having a bad floor debuff like no abilities. Alright, we got it. Didn't get anything from the Corrigans, but a free sight, but that's fine. The key is open here, but I didn't notice it at the time, and so that's why I pulled this patrol here. I didn't realize the key was already open. Actually, until I think about right now, I remember I was like, oh, the key's already open. I don't even need to fight this thing. But it's fine, though, because we have that free strength sitting right there. So I'm not wasting strength. I'm just wasting time, basically, right here. This is just a time waste. But it's not a major time waste because the mob is going to die fast, and I can re-up my strength to full. Alright, so we're going to the next floor with the full strength. Okay, so let's rewind this a little bit. So right away, the first thing I see is I see this patrol here, which is a proximity mob. So right now, I already know he has to die. And I see the key over here, so that's good. Swing my camera over a bit. I see this patrol. I already know he has to die. You don't want these patrols pretty much lingering around, especially if you already know where the key is at. And the key is in a dead end. So I know that if I open this floor, if I open the key and I have patrols that are around, they may make it difficult later getting to that key. So that's why I kind of always prioritize putting the patrols, especially the proximity ones, on my kill list so that I don't have that problem later. Alright, we got a free steal. Gonna go ahead and use it. Don't really need it as right now as a tank, but it's free, might as well. Immediately pull him. I can see this patrol over here. I see this diplo over here, which are proximity. Just keeping those in mind. Oh, and we got the other patrol, the vinegar, heading over to us. So we're going to position this bird in a way where I don't aggro any of them. The other thing that I'm thinking about right now is I know I have at least 2 other or 4 other patrols to kill. So that kind of takes away the thought process that, all right, what do I need to kill this for? I kind of already have my kill options laid out for me. I do see that chest over there near that Triceratops over there to the right. So what I'll probably want to do is check that next. Let's skip ahead a little bit. See that patrol coming. But I want to check the chest first just in case of the mimic. There's a trap there, so I'm going around to make sure I avoid it. And we get a rage, which pretty much makes this a very, very quick floor. So I pull the Triceratops, hit my sustain, and go into the rage. Oh, not yet. I want to clear out. But I want to get the mobs bundled up to me so that I have an easier rage. So we're just going to drag all these mobs with us. We're a tank. We can handle it. This will prevent me from having to walk around to each room to kill the mobs. I can just bring them all together and then kill them. And that can help you save some good time. It did open the key, but I do want to check to see if there's any other chests available. So that's why I'm going around killing stuff. I do see that gold there, so I do want to at least kill this proximity mob so I can check the gold, just in case it's like another strength. Or flight. And it is a strength. So that is huge. I get to go from about 4 minutes left of my strength all the way back to full. Skip ahead some. I do believe I go up here and check this chest. And get the third lust back. That is great. So that lust and witching that I did on 161 was perfectly okay because I got both the lust and the witch back. Just gonna skip ahead here. Alright, so we are entering 167 with 36 minutes left on the clock. That is huge. That is a lot of time left for being on 167. So we got the safety back. So instead of pulling the mob that was just there in front of me, typically I would have pulled it just because I know I need to get some kills started. But I knew that there was this chest back here and there was 2 Triceratops. That means in order to get to this chest, there's a potential that I know I have to fight at least one. But since there's the second one here, I want to kill both of these first before checking the chest. These Triceratops would be more important for me to get access to the chest. Looking ahead over there just to see if there's any patrols coming or if I can get an early look at the key. I'm positioning my camera in a way so I can keep an eye on that area because I don't know if there's any patrols on this floor yet. So that's what I'm doing here is I'm keeping an eye over there just in case a patrol happens to come around the corner because I don't know if there's a room to the side or not. I do know that the caves are open over there, but I don't know if there is a room to the side. We're just going to go ahead and chain pull Triceratops so I can get access to that gold chest. Trying to jump to see what I can see, but I'm just a Lalafell. Lalafells can only see so much. I'm going to skip ahead some. Or actually, no, I won't. Somebody kill him. Alright, let's see what we get in this chest. And there's this another steel. Okay. So coming up here, there's 2 things that I know. One, there's a Diplo up here, which is proximity, so there is a higher chance of aggroing him. And 2, there's a room over here to the side, so it's another area that I probably will have to explore. So we're going to pull the Diplo because he's proximity. Again, because he's the harder one to move around, so he has priority over the two Mylodons, which are only sight. And I'm looking ahead over there in the cave. I saw there was a gold chest, so that does pique my interest of an area that I want to check. Just, using my camera to look around and plan ahead while I fight something. I'm making the decisions while I'm fighting. And doing that is what helps you save time instead of doing it after you kill something or before you kill something. You always want to make the decisions while you're doing something else. Okay, so this is a little bit tight. Have some issues getting up here because I'm a Lalafell. So we go ahead and pull this. I need kills to open the key anyway, so it's no big deal. I do see that Diplo though. He's kind of close to the gold chest, so I'm thinking, okay, I might have to fight him because he's proximity and he's close to the gold chest. So turning my camera this way just in case there is a patrol that's coming. And then right here I get a little unfocused because I think that the Triceratops, his design looks like a zipper. That's exactly what I'm thinking right here. Alright, but the Diplo did move, so we have access to this chest, which is great. And it's another lust. Okay, so I did see the key there. So I see the key and I see the Triceratops. So I already know I don't have the key open. So he has to die. Like that's what I'm thinking right now. This guy has to die. But before I do that, I would like to get that chest, but since he's too close to me, I have to pull him anyways. And we got another strength, which is great. I'm trying to see if there's any gold chest up there, which there isn't. So the next mob I'll probably kill will be the Mylodon. If this key does not open, that's what I'm thinking right now. Mylodon is next. Key opens, reopen the strength, and look at the Mylodon to see if he turns around, which he doesn't, so I have easy access to the key. Alright, so we're entering 168 with 31 minutes left. That's amazing time. Alright, so first thing I see here is we have the small platform and there's a Triceratops with a gold on it. So I know I'm going to check that gold, but one, this Triceratops has to die. So I can either go left or right, but I'm also going to want to check the left and right to see if there's any patrol. So no patrols there on the right. I see some patrols over here on the left, but then I see some other mobs not moving, and we have a treasure room, which is not great. I see the returns over there, so I know that the key is through the treasure room. And I bring the Triceratops over here just in case a patrol does come through, that I can either move back or move over to the right side of that platform. So I go to check this chest. I'm hoping that it's a rage, so I can try to rage to the treasure room. But it's just an affluence, and I aggro this Mylodon, so he dies next. I'm still trying to think about how do I want to get through that treasure room, because I know it's mostly proximity. I know I have to go to the left to get through it if the key is not there. If the key is in there, I'm probably going to have to kill a lot of stuff. So right now I'm just thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this treasure room? Do I just kill it since I have 6 minutes left of strength? Do I rage it? That's the thought process that I'm having right now. And then now that I have a better look, I don't see the key here. I know that I have to fight through the left side to get through it. And those mobs in the middle there, they're stuck. And most of them are proximity. So I know I'm thinking, do I rage this or do I fight it? And I'm on this floor probably the longest out of any floor because I can't make a decision fast enough. if I want to rage or just fight it. So what I'm going to end up doing is just I'm gonna pull something as I make that decision whether I'm going to rage or just fight it. I'm looking at that chest there on the right. Looking over here to the left. This is a good example of what kind of palms are you willing to spend to either make the floor go by easier or save time. So I'm pulling this Triceratops just to get ahead on the kills, because if I do decide to fight it, I can't just be standing around as long as I just was. I need to be doing something while I decide. There's no mobs in here that are difficult one-on-one, so I know I can fight through this. It's just the big decision now is, do I want to fight through all this? I have the time to fight through all this. I know that. That's the major thing, is that I was afforded the time to be able to fight through this through the decisions that I made to save time earlier. Now, if I didn't do any big time saves in the beginning, which what happens with a lot of new runners is that they react to situations like this instead of preparing for them. So my preparation for this type of floor was that I did time saves early, whereas someone who's new and not as experienced, this is where they may be coming to this floor with like 18 minutes left, and they know they need some time for the ball, so this is where they may just spend the rage. So it's those kind of time saves that you want to make in the beginning of the floor to be able to afford yourself to fight through a treasure room like this, or to use a bigger palm like a rage just to get through it. Just gonna skip ahead some because I know I pull a few more mobs. Won't spoil what I do. But now that I've pulled this mob and I see the key is activated, yeah, this is where I'm like, okay, now I'm just wasting time. I'm just fighting proximity mobs, and the key is open, and they're not moving into any favorable positions. I have 3 birds in the Diplo, possibly a second Diplo that I have to fight again. So after I kill this Triceratops, pull the Nux Diplo, and then there it is. I pull the Diplo, and I see that there is room here to run through and check the chest. Alright, then I see it's a rage, and that... I remember when I did this, I was upset because I was thinking the whole time, do I just rage this? And there was a free rage in the room the entire time. This happens a lot. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and just clear our way to the exit, because there is high potential of more proximity mobs, so that is more of a priority than killing stuff in the treasure room. In which there was two Triceratops near the key. This is not safety or sighted, by the way. We just happen to know where traps are at. I already walked through here, so I know the middle's safe. Now, I did say I was upset that there was a rage here, but it's not the complete end of the world, because I'm still getting out of this floor with a lot of time left. I'm probably going to leave this floor with like 23 minutes left, which is still huge for this set. I'm just going to go ahead and check all the chests. I don't think I get anything huge. Oh, we got another strength. That's good. That's actually huge. And intuition. Get our rage that we should have used 10 minutes ago. Alright, and we're heading into 169 at about 24:30 left. And we're never going to use anything. That's plenty of time to get at least 6 to 7 kills. I see that there's no debuffs. Yeah, even if this was Gloom, I would be fine. So we see the patrol. We're just going to pull him instantly because he's proximity and he's patrol, so that's He checks off 2 things on the list. Patrol is one of them, but if you're a proximity patrol, you gotta go. I did see that Triceratops ahead of me, so he is probably gonna die. Thinking about that while I'm fighting the mob. Always want to be planning ahead. Looking ahead and planning ahead while you're already fighting something. Make the decisions ahead of time. Okay, don't see the key yet. I see a gold chest and I see 2 proximity mobs near it. So we're going to go ahead and check to see what it is. And it is a strength. Okay, so I will come back for this because I'm thinking, okay, free strength for the boss. That is what I'm thinking. So let me go ahead and clear out this room. So when I come back over here for the strength, I don't have a proximity mob blocking me. I'm peeking over there at that Triceratops. I'm thinking, okay, he might be my next kill because he's right in the middle of this 4-way intersection that I want him dead. So that when I do try to come back to the strength, that he just happens to not be in my way when I come back. Don't see any other chest over there or patrol, so this Triceratops gets pulled instantly. And there's the key. Has 2 Diplos on it, so those 2 Diplos most likely are going to die because 1, the proximity, 2, they're blocking the key, and 3, I need kills to open the key. I have strength and steel up, so they are good as dead. I'm carrying them over just to see if there's any patrols coming. I see the patrol immediately, and I decided to go ahead and kill that Triceratops. Pulled this Diplo all the way back over here. It didn't really matter if I pulled the Diplo or the patrol or not. As long as I pulled something, that's pretty much all that mattered there. Patrol's getting a little bit closer, so I'm going to position the Diplo in a way so that I can move either back, I can stay, or I can move to the left. So we're going to see where he goes. And the patrol is going towards that way, so I'm going to go ahead and head back towards this area so that I can pull the next Diplo. Now that chest was there, and I was saying that you want to check the chest before you pull stuff, but in this case there was a proximity mob near the chest, so to me it's more important here that I kill the mob first than check the chest after. Okay, key did not open. Check the chest and it was lust. I do see that dead end room all the way in the back, so I do want to go over there to check to see if there's a gold. I do see a chest. And I do see it's a gold. So I do want to go over there and check it. I pull him because I know that he's going to be in my way on the way back. He's really close to the middle, which means that he has a high chance of moving there on the side that I came in or blocking me on the way out. And I need kills to leave the key still, so I'm going to go ahead and make use of that free lust and just go ahead and just burn him down. You do way more damage when you're in a lust than a tank. Alright, so key is open. Archaeosaur's peeking at me. And we got another lust, which we already had a free one, so that means that this Archaeosaur is a complete waste of time. But it's okay, we're going to use that other free lust that we got, and we're just going to burn him down. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if checking that chest, I don't think it was a good idea. The best case scenario is that since I already have pretty much all my palms, is that it gave me a strength, which I already have another strength on the floor, but this one is just a little bit easier to get to. I think that is the only best case scenario because the next floor is the boss. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I think checking that chest wasn't probably the best idea. Alright, the Archaeosaur is dead, so heading back to the strength. Now, I do want to keep an eye for that patrol right there, so I race over here, grab my lust, and then right here, my goal is to grab the strength that's free, and then race back to the exit before the patrol comes. Okay, so we got our free strength. We're heading back to the key. We're probably going to get to the key with about 1830, which is way more than you need to kill this boss. So if you look here in my chat, I have 1015 no palms with 3 tinctures. So I know that I need at least 10 minutes to kill this boss with no palms, but I'm walking in there with 18 minutes with a full strength, so I know this boss is good as dead. Right. I'm not really going to go over the boss here. I mainly wanted to go over on how to reach the boss with enough time. As you can see, we got here at 1822, which is really good time for support. Even on a job like Astro, like that's enough time for Astro to do this boss with no palms at all. So, and the things that let us get here again, we did that Lust and Witching play on 161 with a Strength and Steel. We opened it up with that Lust, and then we immediately went into the Flight with the Strength and Steel up on 162. We got the quick out on the 162, and we were able to bring that Strength and Steel into 163. And from there, we just made sure that we were planning ahead as we were killing. We were pulling the necessary mobs and navigating as we were killing. And again, the big thing was planning ahead while you're fighting a mob. That's the biggest takeaway from here, is that you want to be planning ahead as much as you can when you're doing stuff on a job like a tank or a healer. You want to make the decisions ahead of time and not react to what you have to do. So yeah, that's 161 time management, palm management. If you have any kind of questions at all, just feel free to ask me in the comments. Hopefully this helps you, that you have a different perspective. This video was inspired by Finn's multitasking video that he made a long time ago, which just happened to also be on Gunbreaker. So I just thought it would be cool to give my perspective on time management and palm management. All right, well, that's it for the video, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.